The views and opinions of this broadcast do not reflect the views and opinions of Armed Media, New Productions and its affiliates. Enjoy the show.
Tax the rich, feed the poor, till there are no rich no more.
This is all loud as hell. Welcome my cat back into the house.
What was I gonna do? The fucking thing was scratching at the door.
You listen to Pod Talk, everybody. I'm Jim.
And I'm Paul. I literally just got back in from Vermont about 20 minutes ago, so we didn't have any time to prepare anything. So we're just gonna bounce shit around and see what happens. So I wanted to start with something I seen. I think it was on C-SPAN or something like that. It was this congressman talking to this think tank lady about global warming. And he's reading a report to her about global warming, saying, the basic bullshit, Jimmy. You know, the sea's gonna rise, the polar bears are gonna fucking die, coastal cities will be inundated with water, we gotta start building fucking levees and shit to stop it, right? And the lady's sitting there, you know, she's all smiles and shit. And he's like, now, are you familiar with this report? And she's like, well, not that exact report, I don't think, but, I'm sure it's crossed my desk or whatever. So he's going on and on and on because it's blah, blah, blah. I just want to get to the point. The point was, the report was written in 1927. He's like, so it went across your desk, you know, basically she's like, and then he starts ripping into her. He's like, because she started saying, well, that's a part of history, and it's a, recorded part of history and stuff. So he starts talking about, from the 50s up, and then dropping back to like, the 30s, and then he starts going, back into like the medieval times and stuff, and he's like, what about the medieval warm period? It was one of the greatest times. It brought people out of the Dark Ages. And then he was talking about, and it was true. I checked it. The Romans were growing crops in the Sahara Desert because it was fertile at the time. And that was what, a few thousand years ago? Yeah, a few thousand years ago. And he's explaining, he goes, how about this? He goes, forget recorded time. He goes, how about the Jurassic period, 170 million years ago? He goes, there was 5 times the carbon in the atmosphere that there is right now. Scientists know it. Your vaunted scientists say it. He goes, it was the most prolific time for new species and life on the planet Earth. More than now. If you took the biomass, every living thing on this planet and put it on a fucking scale back then, and you put every living thing on the same scale, it'd be like twice as much back then. Carbon's good, in the atmosphere. It's good. It makes plants grow better because that's what they live off of.
Right.
The world's a better place with more carbon in the. I mean, at a certain point, yeah, you're gonna, shut that off. But if there was 5 times the carbon in the air back then as there is compared to now, and things were really good, I think, we can go another half time of what carbon we're putting in. You know what I mean? Another 50% and see no harm at all. 0. It'd be a help. And I can think of a lot of coastal cities that need a good douching. San Francisco.
It's another thing they've been saying since the 60s, that the fucking tides are rising.
Where?
You know what I mean? That because of the Antarctica and the other one there.
Yeah, but name one city that's underwater.
That's what I'm saying. I've been going to the beach in Revere for all my life, the last 50 years anyways. and I haven't seen it come up. If anything, it looks like it went further away.
It looks further away. I seen a thing where they were talking to this woman. She's like, it was like Bangladesh or something like that, and she's like, "There's cities flooding in Bangladesh." It's like, well, if it's happening there from global warming, right? The ocean's pretty level.
Yeah,
you know
exactly.
what I mean? If the water's rising there,
And
why
not
isn't it
here?
rising here?
Exactly.
Yeah. What's it, just a lump? A big giant mound in the fucking ocean? It's fucking retarded.
It could have been one of the full moon pulling the tide, and it's just an abnormal thing.
Do you know what makes more sense? The ground is sinking. Ground sinks all the time. Some lifts up and becomes mountains. Some sinks lower. Doesn't mean the fucking ocean's getting higher. It means the land's getting lower. It's fucking crazy. You must remember that back in the 70s, the fucking time thing about the coming fucking ice age.
What, a new one?
No, this was in the 70s. It was like a big thing in the 70s, the
What,
coming
the-
ice age.
That we're going into an ice age?
Yeah, we were going into an ice age.
Okay.
Yeah. It's not about fucking
And I get a kick out of it ever since on record. On record is what, 200 fucking years out of 400 billion, and they're gonna tell us how the Earth works?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, it's not supposed to have this much carbon.
Well, it's my barbecue grill doing it, Jimmy.
Yeah, I know.
It's the full
And
cause.
all it is a money scheme that was conjured up by the Democrats, Obama, Gore, Clinton.
Well, that
They
goes
all
back to,
stood to make big money on these carbon credits.
yeah, it goes even back further than that. It goes back to the Communist Manifesto and shit. Because if you control the environment, it's the air we breathe. If you control that, you control every aspect of a person's life. Well, you can't do this because of the atmosphere. And nobody escapes the atmosphere. Everyone has to live in it. So once they can regulate that, well, not regulate, because they gotta kind of regulate it. But I mean, control it? They own you. They fucking own you. It's a control process. And people are so willing to give up their freedoms like that.
Yeah, I know.
Which is fine. I don't care if somebody wants to give up their freedoms, right? I'm not. I'm not giving mine up, Jimmy. So don't ask me. Do what you want. But don't get pissed at me because I don't want to give up my freedoms, you know? Yeah, the liberal way. That's the liberal way. Yeah, I just wanted to get that out of the way because it was stuck in my head because I was watching it either last night or the night before. The look on the lady's face was perfect when he said that report was from the 1920s. Some think tank you belong to.
And what station?
It was on YouTube, but I think it was from C-SPAN.
Oh, okay.
But it was on YouTube. It was fucking funny because the guy, it was an older guy, got the white hair and shit, real distinguished looking. And I thought he was talking about a recent report too. But as soon as he said it was from the 1920s, you could see how he was setting a bait for her. And she fucking bit every single time. And he just did it so calm, cool, and collectedly. It was perfect. I love watching a liberal fucking trip over their own words. It's fucking beautiful. What would you like to talk about, Jimmy? Because I'm sure you got something. You don't? Okay. I've been on the road all day.
I've been working my next step from looking up at the ceiling.
Huh? Lovely. I was in fucking Vermont.
That's why I didn't prepare nothing.
Yeah, we had no time. We were both out, and normally we do something before, but I didn't even know I was working today until fucking last night. Anyways, up in fucking Vermont, holy shit, them winds. I thought a couple times, Jim, that van was going on its side. I mean, it hit hard.
Well, his is tall, too, and it's skinny.
Yeah, it's one of them fucking Astro vans.
Yeah, it's a real
It's a fucking sail. And then he's got these massive ladders on this little Astro van. It looks fucking ridiculous. But it does the trick. It gets us to do what we have. When we got to get up on, the second or third floor, we can do it. I don't go up there. I make him do it. It's his company. You fucking climb it. I'll be down here footing it. A fucking coward to the end, Jimmy.
Well, unless he falls on you and then he lives.
Oh, no, if he starts falling, I'm running. I'm getting out of his way. He's probably got 30, 40 pounds on me. I hope he doesn't listen to this broadcast. Anyway, have you heard anything about the wiretap scandal, Jim?
No, other than the New York Times, they're the first one that brought it up on January 20th. And so they said that they got their sources anonymous.
Oh, of course.
Bob Woodward, he's the assistant editor or something at the Washington Post.
People don't know who he is. He's one of the guys that broke the Watergate scandal, right?
Deep Throat went to him and
Bernstein.
Yeah. Who was Big Deep Throat? He outed himself.
I forget who it was.
But about a decade ago.
Well, he was dying. I think it was on his deathbed or something like that.
No.
I could look that up, but do you know what? I wish I had thought about that because I knew I was going to talk about this about 10 minutes ago. I should have fucking Googled it. Where I get all my information from. No wonder why nobody will talk to me on Facebook.
And he never got arrested or something. I guess it was past that stroller because what he was doing was leaking shit too.
Oh yeah, and back then you got fucked for it.
Oh, yeah.
Not like today, they just fucking sweep it under the rug, which is fucking pathetic. Do you know what, Jim? Not to change the subject or anything, because I'm not really, but you look at all the fucking shit that's happened since, we'll just go Reagan forward, right? That shit 30 years before would have gotten you fucking put in jail for the rest of your life, right. And everyone walked. And even all of us...
man, and getting 35 years, that was an appropriate sentence.
Yeah, fucking look at what Oliver North got away with. And you know what? I like the guy, don't get me wrong. But what he did was a fucking severe breach of fucking law.
But he was told to do it.
It doesn't matter. If you're given an order that you know is an illegal order, especially in the military, you are obligated not to obey that order.
From the White House.
You still don't do it.
No, you don't, because when you're in the service, your country comes first.
Well, I don't care. Then he should have done serious time for it then, because he agreed. He should have. Don't get me wrong. I like Oliver North. I think he's a patriot. But by the law, he should have done serious time for that. And there's been so many others. Look at the Clinton fucking presidency. Look at the 8 years under Clinton. You had Whitewater. You had the McDougalls. You had fucking Monica Lewinsky. He lied under oath. He perjured himself under oath and wasn't thrown out of the White House.
No, he got impeached after.
He got impeached, but he wasn't removed from office.
No, but I think the impeachment went to after his...
after his presidency was over? I'm not sure about that. But anyways, I mean, and everyone's like, oh, it's just a blowjob in the Oval Office. Yes, but he lied under oath.
Yeah, I know. The blowjob's not a bad thing.
No, I mean, fuck. Look, you're dealing with Hillary.
If I was having the president, there'd be a fucking step ladder going down to the floor below. They could all come up and take their time. Take their turns.
Just imagine how bad a fucking head Hillary gives. If she's ever sucked a cock in her life.
Yeah, I know it.
I guarantee you one thing. She's eaten more pussy than she's sucked cock. That'll fuck. I would bet the farm on that. Because I just have a feeling she is a fucking she is a cold human being. But I mean, that woman has no passion of any kind except for power. That is her only passion. I don't even think she gives a fuck about the money. I think the money to her...
No, well, the money gives her power, so she does.
Right, it's just a means to acquire power. If you gave her the choice, money or power... she would take power because she knows she'd make money with that power. But it's the thrill of being able to make people do stuff they don't want to do. She gets a rise out of it. It's the only thing that'll get her excited, Jimmy.
She gets wet, does she?
Oh, yeah. I don't even think she can physically get moist. I think that's beyond her fucking capabilities.
heard of Uber Aberdeen wants to go into fashion design or
Nice.
some bullshit.
So how many times can you make? How many ways can you make a fucking jihad different?
Yeah, I know.
What? So what? You can do different colors. Just imagine that fucking runway. It just looks like a bunch of fucking
black
rolled down
polyester,
umbrellas. Fucking, oh my god. I hope she ends up in the can with them. She's a fucking horrible human being. Do you know what'd be funny? If the only one that skated out of all of it, out of the Clintons and shit, was fucking Lena. He's the only one that skates. He walks away clean. They all end up in
He's
fucking
the only one that's
Leavenworth.
going to end up doing time. The rest are going to walk away.
He's a filthy pig. Don't get me wrong. I mean, he's fucking knowingly fucking trying to pick up 14 and 15-year-old girls. He's not a moral person. But in comparison to what his wife and the Clintons have done, and you can't even draw a comparison. You can't even draw a comparison. Anthony Weiner is not responsible for the death of another human being, as far as I know. And he could be, but as far as I know, he isn't. Hillary definitely is. There's no doubt. And her fucking friend Uma there was right there alongside her. She was a co-conspirator. If not fucking directly, you know what I mean? If not worse. So, I would like to see at least a real investigation into the Clintons.
Oh, yeah, both. Benghazi and...
Yeah.
Benghazi's still not over.
Not according to Trey, it isn't.
That's what I mean. So they still got things to go.
Yeah. But but we're dealing with fucking...
We got a different DOJ now. They're going to be in charge, so everything they ask for, they're going to get.
Yeah, but you still got Comey in there, and he's going to fucking stonewall as much as he can. He's going to make life difficult for them.
I don't think so, because like I said, I think Trump will get rid of him.
He's got a 10... Oh, it's a 10-year term, by the way, Jimmy.
Yeah.
That's why he's still there.
He's got another 6.5 years.
6.5 years.
It's bullshit.
Yeah, he's not going to make it. Because don't forget, Hillary Clinton's got a vendetta against him, too, for fucking reopening the investigation right before the election. She blames him for losing the election, you know. And, you don't want Hillary Clinton pissed at you. Because, like, I don't know how many exactly, but I'm going to go out on a limb and say at least 20 people that have been directly in her circle.
I think it was 40-something.
Okay, I believe that number. I just wanted to lowball it just because I didn't want to sound like I was
mysteriously wound up dead.
Yes, stacked like cordwood.
Well, that's what it is when you're a lawyer and a governor, you know what I mean? And then the president, you get to get away with anything.
And a senator. Hillary was a senator. You do know that John Kennedy was running for that spot.
Somebody said she's giving up. She wants to run for president again.
Let her!
I heard that in the talk show on the radio.
You know what shape she's in now, right? Just imagine what shape she's going to be in 4 fucking years.
4, 8.
Well, just say, because, well, she's going to run in 2020, right?
2020, that's right. She thinks it was so close.
Oh, it was so not close. It was anything but close, Jimmy. He fucking smashed her.
She thinks these protests and stuff with Soros is all going to give in. All these people with the woman marching, they find out the people that are running Black Lives Movements, and they don't believe in any of that shit.
My friend Sue, right? She's a liberal and stuff, but she's reasonable. And she's like, I'm really uncomfortable with these woman marches. She's like, women walking around with, like, hats that are supposed to represent pussies. She goes, look at it this way. And this is a fucking genius. She goes, just say Hillary won, right? And guys started protesting, and they were wearing fucking penises on their heads. You would say they're insane. And she'd be right. I text back, I wrote, I was wearing penises on my head long before this shit was going on. I just like the look. Plus the balls keep your ears warm. But she was right. The liberal media would be going, look at these idiots. What do they hope to accomplish?
They're all pedophiles.
Yeah. They're wearing penises on their heads. Oh, I can see Rachel Maddow now. with that smug look on her
This has
face.
got to be a homophobia. That's what it is.
Yes. Misogyny.
Yeah.
Yep. Showing the male phallus to be superior. It's like, and that's what they look like. They look like a bunch of dumb cunts wearing them stupid suits. They're wearing a vagina suit. It's like, really? And they went all out. Some of them went all out. I mean, they had the clit in there and everything. I have to admit, there was some good sewing skills.
Yeah.
But I mean, oh, and by the way, who was the girl that sewed all that? Because she must have had an oppressed life from a man because he made her learn how to sew. Oh my God! And they're not gonna stop, Jimmy.
I know. Every time you think of feminists, I see Pelosi, and it's like, she is so brain dead. She's worse than Elizabeth Warren. At least Elizabeth Warren can make a sentence.
Fucking I'm thinking to myself, all these women marching, right? And they're all a bunch of douches. Their husbands must be like, thank God. Everyone's like, they're calling it a day without a woman. You know what their husbands are calling it, right? A day with coke and hookers. Because that's what I'd be doing. As soon as she stepped out the door, oh, you're going to D.C., honey? I'd be on the phone with my credit card. I'd be calling, hey, anyone know where I can get some coke and a hooker? A fucking twat's gone for 2 days. I'm actually going to get something. Ugh. Feminists. They're not even feminists.
They
think they are.
Yeah, they think they are.
They're not.
They're social justice warriors.
They don't even know what they're talking about. They're protesting for rights they already have.
Yeah, I know.
It's like, first of all, don't bring attention to the fact that you have these rights, because a lot of us guys are going to start second thinking this shit. What, you can do that? Maybe we should put a stop to that, because they're getting a little uppity. And knock them down a notch. I'm not talking about the women that are out there pulling their own weight and busting their balls and, and raising families and shit and participating. I'm talking about these fucking rich bitches whose husbands make $1 gazillion. They don't work or nothing, right? But they put housewives down.
Yeah.
You don't have a career? Well, what's your career? And you know what they inevitably say? Well, I do interior decorating. Really? Can I go see your office? Well, I do it out of my home. No, you don't. When's the last house you decorated? What, 14 years ago? No, you live off your husband. Shut up. They drive me nuts. And you know what? I shouldn't let them get to me. But they just fucking irk me. They just irk me.
Well, the more they demand, the less respect I got. So,
absolutely. I wouldn't mind reasonable demands. If they had reasonable demands.
Yeah, if they didn't have the right to vote or something,
I'd be like, yeah, give them the fucking right. They deserve it.
Exactly. But they got no right that they don't already have. They're idiots. Donald Trump fucking hates women.
Really?
So what's that?
He was the first guy to put a woman in charge of building a skyscraper.
Right.
What the fuck? He's got women working for him through his private businesses, through his public life now. One of his biggest advisors is a woman. It just drives me nuts.
Donald Trump hates women. That's because the media told them, and these people are sheeple.
Yeah,
they just believe everything they hear from CNN, MSNBC.
They're spoon-fed their gruel.
Yeah, and they take it. Hook, line, sinker. Yep, what are we going to protest today?
Yep, they're told to squat, and they squat.
Yeah.
And you know what?
And you notice the only ones that are doing this are the young kids. Those are the only ones they can influence. They can't influence.
No, at them women's marches, you see a lot of old women stuff. They're old-time liberals, though. And they're just cranky old fucking hags. Life's passed them by. They know it. They've got nothing left to do but be bitter and old.
Yeah, so they decided they wanted to become lesbians, and they're getting nowhere there.
Yeah, and they're getting nowhere there. Exactly. Their fucking husband left them 30 fucking years ago. And they've got a cat for every year he's gone. Fucking unbelievable. And do you know what the real kicker is for me? They bow to Islam, but they're women's rights people.
Yeah, I know.
It's like, do you know what? Every fucking feminist should have to go to Saudi Arabia for a week. That would cure them. Because they'd see that over there and they'd be like, fuck. Because it's scary fucking for a woman.
Yeah, these are people that never left the States, half of them.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
They're from like Vermont and shit like that, right?
Liberals.
Yeah.
They're busting.
I was in Vermont for about 14 hours today, and I seen one black person. One. And that, the only reason I seen that, and this is going to sound extremely racist, but we were doing a fucking one of them hotels there for the indigent. We were putting cable in there, and it's literally where you've got nowhere else to go. They fucking, they stuff you. They're like an apartment kind of, but it's a fucking flea bag hotel. And that's the only reason I've seen a black person in Vermont. The place was gorgeous, Jim. Fucking gorgeous. If you took all the people, there was 20 apartments, right? If you took all the people, you would have gotten one set of teeth. Oh yeah. And there was like 5 women living there, so you add that in. I mean, literally, a tooth here, and like when their mouth slammed shut, there was no teeth lining up, so they just kind of fold in. Like the guy's in his 30s, but his face folds in like an 80-year-old guy. It's like it's 11 o'clock in the afternoon, right? None of these guys have been drinking, but they're all slurring because they're just so fucking wet-brained. It's like, how do you fucking do that in 35 years? I'm 50. I like to drink. These guys are completely wet-brained at 30 and 35 years old. It's like, how do you do it? Is it like the altitude have something to do with it? Because we were up in the mountains. I don't know if it's like the lack of oxygen fucking brings it on quicker or something, but it was fucked up. Tents everywhere in downtown. Just people living in tents, like right on the side of the road. There's a tent. All holding up signs and shit, will work for food and stuff, which they won't. Fucking unbelievable. Even Vermont. Do you know why they go to Vermont? Because it's liberals. They'll fucking just hand you money. They don't expect anything in return. I don't get it, but I mean, if somebody says I'll work for food, and I got something for them to do, I'll say, I'm not giving you food, I'll pay you for the fucking day. But you are going to work. I'm not going to kill you. I'm going to make you work. Fuck it.
Get cash, go buy your own food.
Yeah, go buy your own alcohol or crack. I don't give a fuck what you do. Fucking shove a needle in your arm.
All right, we're going to take a quick commercial here.
We really went through a half hour that quick?
Yeah.
All right.
We'll be right back, folks.
Are you hangry? Know the signs. Uncontrollable yelling.
Why aren't you egg rolls?
Hallucination.
Sushi.
Pants discomfort.
I hate you, pants.
Hangry. It can happen to anyone. Fortunately, there's E24, the app that tells hunger to shut up.
Egg rolls. Thanks, Snoop.
E24. In my medical opinion, it's the best way to order food online, baby.
I'm TC Elliott.
And I'm Lydia.
And we are the hosts of the first ever father-daughter podcast. This is
Dad.
post-apocalyptic parenting.
Dad.
Yes?
We should talk about me seeing 21 Pilots tonight.
You're going to a concert tonight?
Yeah.
Well, that's cool. It's your first concert, so that should be something to talk about.
No.
What?
That's not my first concert.
What do you mean it's not your first concert?
I've been to other concerts.
What? Why the hell didn't I know anything about this? Clearly, somebody needs to be listening to Dad Max with TC and Lydia, live Monday night streaming, 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on Armed Radio.
Hey everyone, I want to tell you all about an amazing salon, Joyce's, located at 132 Ferry Street in Everett, Massachusetts. Joyce's specializes in the latest techniques in coloring, styling, cutting, and beach waves. Joyce's features Sukesha all-natural nutrient products and organic color. Joyce's full-service spa and salon, located at 132 Ferry Street, Everett, Massachusetts. 617-387-6688, specializing in you.
Hey there, all you creepy people. This is Kevin Wayne from Portland, Oregon. You're listening to Armed Radio, home of the big guns.
Hey Dan, how's the day going so far?
My day couldn't be better. You pull up less than 3 minutes after I open my Lyft app, and how do you greet me? With a kind hello? Just delightful.
Great. Care for a cookie?
A cookie? A chocolate chip cookie? You know, I'd love one.
Sure.
Hey, let me ask you something. How did you know I love this song?
I mean, come on, it's the Cold War kids. Everybody loves them.
Whoa! Who taught this guy how to merge? That was a fantastic merge!
Couldn't agree more.
That's it? That's all this costs? What's this thing running on? Smiles and high fives? You son of a bank! I love you!
Thanks. Have a great day.
Lyft. Driving you happy. Just download and go.
Welcome back, folks.
You want to talk about the new healthcare thing going down?
TrumpCare?
Yeah, TrumpCare. It's not. It's
well, the way it is right now, he better not be. I don't want government health care. Period.
Me neither. I like the
unless
old
it's
system.
Medicare for old people.
Right? Yeah. Well, you got to do something like that. You know what I mean? You can't just leave old people to fucking die.
Right.
Because I'm going to be there soon. If I was in my 20s, I'd be like, yeah, fuck it. Let's let the old fucks die. But now I see it around the corner. It's like, ooh, maybe not a good idea. But I wasn't sure because I didn't hear a lot about what was in it, what wasn't in it and stuff. And on Hannity, he had Rand Paul on. And then right after he had fuckhead the speaker there, fucking Paul Rhino.
Oh yeah.
And they both gave their points of view. And I'll give Paul. All right, I'll just start with Rand Paul. He's furious about it. He calls it
Obamacare Light, and that's exactly what it is. It's still Obamacare.
Yeah, there's a mandate, and there is a mandate. And there is subsidies, but the mandate instead
the pre-existing conditions is what's killing everybody, and they refuse to take it out.
Well, I was going to get to that. Because Paul Ryan did address it. It made sense.
What did he say?
He said what people with pre-existing conditions, right, are going to get put into blocks like we're going to buy insurance. He goes and after a couple years that they're lumped into these and people start coming onto the system, it'll wean out the pre-existing because they'll already have the insurance when the catastrophe hits. You know what I mean? Which did make sense. He goes, but what we're going to do is we're going to set up co-ops just like they want to do for everyone else. But they'll be the people with pre-existing care and it'll be expensive for a few years. But they'll buy in blocks, so it will reduce the cost. And then as people come onto the system, the pre-existing will keep going down and down and down because they'll already be insured.
Right.
He's like, you can't buy homeowners insurance after your house burns down. He goes, but we got to have a stopgap for it, which makes sense.
Right.
Because
I'm saying you can't keep it.
You can't keep it, no. But it'll wean out.
It's like paying pensions. Like I said, that's why everything's so fucking high.
Well, I was just about to jump off subject on that, but anyways, Boston police just signed a new contract, and it's ridiculous. But anyways, Rand Paul was going. It's Obamacare. He goes, they've just changed out, like, instead of paying the penalty to the government, now you pay it to the insurance company. Which is a penalty. A penalty is a penalty. It doesn't matter who you're writing the fucking check out to. You're writing the check out. And the subsidies. And Paul Ryan's like, it's not a subsidy, it's a tax.
Well, it would make sense because that would cover the not catastrophic. The ones who pre-existent. That would cover that.
Right.
If they got the penalties until the pre-existents are gone,
well,
like
weaned
you said,
out, and then there's no mandate. But
they don't get the money anymore.
Right, nobody gets it.
Well, there shouldn't be a penalty.
Right, no penalty. That's what I mean. Yeah, they'll wean out the penalty. And Ryan did say, look, this is eventually going to look very different. Excuse me. But Hannity did bring up the thing about purchasing, which I'm a huge fan of, purchasing over state lines. And there's a thing called sequestration or something like that.
Yep, sequestration.
Yeah, and he said that that would never pass it. He goes, I would like to do that too. You know, give people the option. He goes, but it'll never get through it. So right there, I'm thinking they're not really working for us. Because they could do it.
For the patients first and all that shit.
Why can congressmen and senators buy across state lines?
I want their health care. That's what I want. And that should be provided to all of the Americans.
Everyone should have an opportunity to purchase it.
Exactly.
Not given, purchased.
Right.
If I want to buy my health insurance in Louisiana where the rates are lower, I should be able to. They're still reimbursing the hospital up here. Like my Blue Cross. I had to go to the hospital in Nashville, right? They accepted it. It's not from there, but they accepted it.
Right.
So why can't I purchase my health insurance in another state and it be accepted here?
Right.
You know, in Mississippi the rates are going to be lower, or Louisiana or Alabama.
States made it a monopoly.
Yes.
All right.
Do you know until recently in Massachusetts you couldn't buy discount insurance, car insurance, like Geico and stuff?
Yeah, I know.
You couldn't buy it. You had to buy from like three different bing, bang, boom.
Liberty Mutual,
yeah,
Allstate.
Allstate, and yeah. And it's fucking retarded. The problem would fix itself because the market would dictate. Everyone would stop buying their insurance down in Louisiana or wherever the rates are low, right?
Right. They make a bigger profit. They can do a lower.
Right, because so many people would be buying it there. Right? They'd be making a fucking fortune.
That's what I mean. There'd be one company.
Right.
They'll say they're monopoly and try to break it out.
Right. And then Massachusetts and the New England states, New York, whatever, the more expensive states, would have no choice but to lower their rates. Because nobody would be buying it here.
Right.
And then people would eventually say, well, I can buy it right here. Maybe I'll switch it from Louisiana and stop buying it up here.
If it's the same price.
Right, if it's the same price. The market will whittle it out. It'll weed out the weaklings. And say,
and if they get on these prices from the doctors, what they charge for, you know what I mean? One charges like $1,000 less than the other one. And they should all be fucking. This is how they pay the high-priced doctors and how they paid, with the illegals before they had Obamacare. They just show up at the emergency room.
Right, yeah.
Well, this is how they made up for it, by charging outrageous prices for all that's how they made up for it. Well, now that they're getting paid and everybody's insured, why are they doing these outrageous prices?
Well, that was another thing Rand Paul was talking about. He was saying the fact that, give me one sec. I kind of lost train of thought. He wants to have health savings accounts.
Right. I don't understand those.
A health savings account is you pay $50 a month, right, for an insurance, for through your doctor or something like that. It's a savings account. So when, say you want to buy a catastrophic insurance policy, right, and the deductible's like $6,000, you pay that money into a savings account. So if something catastrophic happens, right, you've already paid that money. Your deductible's already paid. And now you can start receiving the care right off the bat instead of having to come up with the $6,000 or whatever
every time
for the deductible.
Yeah.
And if you need health care, then you can either have a supplementary plan, right, where you pay as you go, like a regular health insurance, and then you have your catastrophic one for if something really bad happens, and your deductible's already paid. And it switches from this insurance policy, your day-to-day one, whatever, and it switches over to your catastrophic insurance policy. It's just a way to secure, and having doctors being able to deal with pharmacies and stuff to get the prices down. The doctor will deal with them themselves because they're buying in bulk. Doctors are buying, like antibiotics and shit like that. They buy in bulk because they have huge amounts of customers. So they can make the deals with the pharmaceutical companies or whoever they have to. And they said, this is what Rand Paul said, that they would probably eventually be able to get the price lower than if you had a deal with Walmart or something like that. Walmart, you get the low prescriptions and shit.
Right.
He goes, but it'll be through your doctor. There's so many cures for this.
Oh, you mean get rid of the middleman?
Yes.
Okay. Yeah,
Yes.
that makes sense.
Yeah. Like Canada does.
No, they just do it right there at the hospital?
Yeah. They don't have all this fucking prescriptions in Canada are like 70% less than they are here. First of all, because it's not so regulated, it doesn't take 200 fucking years for a new type of aspirin to come out. That's another thing. Regulation's going to be... A lot of regulation has to be stripped.
Oh, yeah.
When it comes to the pharmaceutical industries, about getting new products out and stuff, takes far too long. People that are terminal don't care.
They will be used as guinea pigs.
Use them as... They want to.
Yeah, no.
Use them. I don't fucking get it.
They take away a reliable source.
Well, we're not sure if it'll work.
It's like fucking not using stem cells. We're just going to use a piece of skin or something.
Yeah. I don't like using baby parts for it only
It's
because...
not baby parts.
No, I know, but when they do use...
you get that from the... What's the test? Yeah.
The umbilical, yeah.
Umbilical cord's loaded with stem cells.
Mm-hmm. Because I'm just afraid of it creating a market for...
So I think a lot of people having their kids now and probably saving the umbilical cord.
I would.
Yeah, because you get whatever he needs throughout his life, there's the
There it
stem
is,
cell.
and it's his already.
Exactly. Nothing about incompatible.
Yeah, just have it do a cryogenic. Like they do with sperm and shit.
Right.
That's a good idea, Jimmy. Shit. We may get you in the
You'd be
fucking
providing your own medical.
The American Medical fucking Journal that fucking...
Yeah, I know.
By Jimmy Bell.
Produce yourself.
Do you know what? If they could clone me and then put my thoughts into the clone, I'd fucking do it every time. Sure. I'd just be like when I hit 50, right?
But a clone,
Kill this
it'd
body.
be like two twins. They're not exactly the same,
Right, but if your thoughts went into that fucking... If they put your thoughts into that clone...
Much out of... They haven't got that far yet.
No, I'm just saying if they could. I'd be like, yeah, when I hit 50, right? Kill this body.
Which they would be able to do soon if they could find the gene for the thoughts and brain or whatever.
Well, memory's only electrical impulses anyways.
Right.
I mean, it's not too much different than a fucking computer or a fucking... Even like a fucking CD or something like that. Or a DVD would be a better example. But yeah. I'd do it. Fuck yeah. I'd live forever if I could. Would you live forever if you could? Healthy.
Yeah, but as long as
Fuck
it's
yeah,
not-
I would. Some people are like, no, I wouldn't fuck with the natural process of things. I just go when it's my time. Fuck you. Yeah. Wait until you're on your deathbed. I guarantee you'd be saying something different.
I just remember being young, around 15, 16, with two kids I hung around with, and seeing a guy that's in my shape right now, saying, man, if I ever get like that, she'll be...
Just put a bullet in me, yeah. Yeah.
You know what I mean? So,
Yeah, no, it's coming for me. Time, the beast that stalks us all.
do yourself a favor and kill yourself, why don't you? You know what I mean?
Yeah, when you're about 35, I'd say.
You're done.
Yeah. Do like, remember Logan's Run? Do you remember the show Logan's Run?
No.
They lived in like a dome city, and when you turned 30, they killed you because they could only have so many people there. And that you had like a thing on your hand, and when the stone turned red, it was time for you to report to Carousel, and they killed you. And everyone's young, no person over 30. I kind of like that, actually. Everyone's good looking and healthy, but there'd be no wisdom. Because you only get wisdom with age.
But not with experience.
Yeah, well, age and experience comes from age. You got to be around long enough to gather it up. But let's face it, old people are fucking annoying. Their liver spot hands and all that shit. Fucking hair growing out their ears. It's gross.
I got hair growing out of my ears, on top of my ears.
I haven't reached that point yet, Jimmy. Not yet. The guy I used to work with, Joe. Oh my God, Jimmy. He had a fucking crop growing out his ears. It's like, you can hear through that? Well, not very well. We were talking about healthcare, right?
I think so.
Somehow we ended up on Logan's Run. Any other subjects you'd like to crucify?
Will we?
Oh, we could talk about the Boston Police's new contract.
Yeah, you start again.
Yeah, they're getting it. They negotiated a new contract. It's a 2% raise for the next 5 years. All right? So they're getting a 10% raise in 5 years. Who else gets that?
Yeah, I know.
Who else gets that? And this is what the fucking...
Just something else they can't afford to pay.
Yeah, well, that's what they were like, well, you know, we can afford to pay it, right? We can afford to pay it. But, you know, we're probably going to have to make cuts in other places. Where?
Yeah, I know.
You've already signed the contract with them. You don't even know where you're going to make the cuts before you made that deal? That sounds pretty stupid.
No, they're just not telling you because they don't want to tell you what's gotten because you know they complain about it.
Well, do you know what? Since it's Massachusetts, I'm going to bet on fixing roads.
Yeah, they are bad.
Holy fuck. Your whole front end dives into a pothole.
Yeah, but the illegals are eating good. You know what I mean? That's the main thing.
Well, yeah, and you know they're not going to do anything about that in Massachusetts.
Nothing.
No, that's a sacred cow.
Boston's a sanctuary city.
Yeah. Massachusetts, although the economy is always good in Massachusetts, do you know what it would be like if Republicans ran Massachusetts? Do you know what that state would be like?
Yeah.
It would be a fucking shining fucking example of fucking man's achievement. Because Massachusetts has everything. It's got a great port. It's got a great city. It's just run poorly. And the people are good.
Idiot.
And you know what? I grew up in Massachusetts, and I didn't know any liberals growing up. Everyone was like me. As far as I knew, or maybe I just didn't pay attention.
See, when I grew up, everybody was liberal.
See, not me. Well, I grew up in...
Just like the kids now.
Well, I grew up
came from the teachers.
Yeah,
my mother and father, they weren't liberal. They were Democrats, but they weren't liberal.
Right, they were Kennedy Democrats.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah. What do they call that, a blue dog? Yeah. My father was a Democrat. My mother was a Republican.
They were for the working poor.
Yeah.
I mean, working poor.
Working poor, right, yeah. And that's a good thing.
Yeah.
I'm all up for helping somebody that's working their ass off and they need a little help with their kids. You know,
What's this part talk with Jim and Paul? We know about pretty much anything.
Oh, that's Joe fucking being... Do you know what? He's just...
Two political know-it-alls and everything. I can't read the rest. I don't know how we got on there and stuck.
Oh, my fucking head. We don't bother his show. Actually, we do.
Yeah, I do. Anyway.
Oh, and we're going to tonight. Jimmy, start getting lick it up. Get yourself fucking lick it up. Let me see what this says. Two political know-it-alls and everything. Yes.
More than everything.
Yeah, well, I don't want to read anymore.
Well, we can't.
I hope he put some time into that. Jesus.
You're going to hear a little crackling for a second.
Oh, well. Folks. All right, I'm kind of curious. Hold on.
Dashboard right there.
Well, Joe thinks he's a political know-it-all.
Sweet leaf I've got. So I don't know how we got on TuneIn and changed it.
Yeah, who cares? Joe's getting his jollies. Let him have it. Jeez. At his advanced age, I'd hope I'd have something to keep me happy and entertained. Except for all his money, because he's got tons of money. And really cool stuff in his house, by the way. Not that he'd ever invite me over to see.
Who's got tons of money?
Joe!
Oh, yeah, he is a rich.
Yeah, a rich fucking guinea.
Yeah. This is just a hobby for him.
Yeah, it is. It's a hobby.
Yeah, it's a hobby.
That's nice.
See, Joe, I do know everything.
yeah, we do know everything. Not just about politics.
Yeah, he doesn't take anything seriously.
No, actually, do you know what? He is a good guy. He's got a fucking great sense of humor. By some of the posts he sends me. A fucking dick. He has no shame. But anyways, enough about Joe. Let's get back to something important.
Yeah, we got about 5 minutes.
And you know, you're not old. We want to keep talking about Joe. Talk about old news.
I'm trying to think if I heard anything, and I didn't hear anything tonight.
So, what did you and the Shah do today?
Yeah, this is interesting.
No, please tell me.
No. My neck hurts from looking up at a ceiling all day. First sanding it and then painting it.
I am so fucking glad I'm out of construction. I fucking hate
Well, if you don't do it for a while, I'm telling you, my neck was killing me.
Well, yeah, we're not kids either.
I know.
You know, construction is for the 20-year-old. When you get to our age, you're the guy that just points at shit and goes, do that, you know? And 6 fucking Mexicans go and do it.
It was a 14 by 14 room. Took me fucking 2 hours to prime it.
That's not bad.
No, that's with 5 cigarettes in between.
Oh, shit. I am so glad I do what I do for a living now because it's very little heavy.
Well, I don't ask for a raise.
You know, you get paid pretty well. I'll give you that. So, what do we got left for time, Jimmy? 5 minutes?
4 minutes.
4 minutes. How do you want to fill it up?
Count the time. I don't know. Like I said, I haven't watched anything.
Like I said, I was on the road all day. I was talking about the fucking healthcare thing, but I ran dry on that. I'm just pissed. But the bill that's going to pass is not going to look like the one they just threw out on the table.
No, I don't want government in the healthcare system other than Medicare and Medicaid or whatever.
Dude, well, guess what? They're never going back to the old system. It's just not going to happen.
Because all we're doing is adding another third party, the government.
More bureaucracy.
Right, and we want it in triplicate, so we got to hire these many thousands of people, which just swells the fucking premiums.
Yep.
It's like I said, you got to get the government out of it. Why don't Trump hadn't fucking...
Yeah, I'm not pleased on this. Not pleased, but I don't think the bill that gets passed is going to look anything like this.
No, but I still don't want the government, and that's like a fucking no-go for anything.
I know.
I don't want the government in on it.
I don't like the government on anything.
And I don't like the insurance company telling me, when my doctor prescribes one thing, they tell me at the pharmacy, oh, no, we don't do that. You're going to get it like this. Who the fuck are you?
Yeah, my doctor said do this.
Exactly.
Yeah. Well, you do know to be a pharmacist, you have to go to college way longer than to be a fucking doctor, right? Can't you become a pharmacist like?
All you gotta do is read the fucking containers.
Can't you do that like an online college course?
Mm-hmm. Learn a couple of Greek words. You know what I mean? A little Latin, and you're all set.
I was gonna say Greek. I know a few Greek poses, but not words. But they did bring us the Olympics, Jerry. So they did do something good.
Well, the Greeks did.
Yeah.
Well, that's because men were in competition. Yeah. That's why they fell in love with each other.
Yeah. All that fucking wrestling. Roman Greco wrestling. Jesus. I haven't watched the Olympics since the 1980.
No.
Yep, that was the last year I watched when the fucking American hockey team won. The Miracle on Ice. I heard Miracle on Ice. I just thought it was like the Ice Capades or something like that. I wasn't even sure. What are you looking at?
The fucking train of cars going by. A big, huge truck went by.
Oh. I think them were cruises.
Was it? Oh, that's what it was. A fire truck.
Yeah, them were cruises behind it.
Because I was saying it was an awful big truck.
Shit.
What the hell was that?
Good thing we weren't roasting when they were
Yeah.
But we will be in about 2 minutes.
All right, when it hits 59, then we can sign off.
Okay.
Sorry to bore you folks this week. Like I said, we didn't get much.
We didn't have any time to prepare.
We're just off the fly here, and it sucks.
Yeah, yes, it did. But
I didn't even get a chance to get drunk. You know what I mean?
I know. I only had 2 fucking drinks before we went on the air. That's fucking pathetic. But next week, just wait until then. I'll be annihilated.
All right, folks, we're gonna sign out.
See you next week.
Yeah, we'll see you next week. Take care.
I was young, I was foolish, I was angry, I was fun, I was charmed.